Hello everyone, this is Greyshot 117 here to bring you another Company of Heroes 2 commentary. This time it's 2v2 on Moscow Outskirts. With me is Ice, Joannis 18, Dan Bree on the enemy team, and Amigo. They're playing as Soviets. Myself and Ice, we are the Germans. I am very pumped up for a couple of reasons. First off, just got back from seeing the new Godzilla film. Fantastic film, by the way. Go see it. Godzilla is amazing. As the main character, as the title says. Even though you don't really see him through most of the part of the movie, but when you do see him, it's absolutely stunning. But of course, you guys came to see some Company of Heroes, and that's what I'm going to talk about. If you want to see Godzilla, you can go check out my brother's review or whatever he's up to, because I don't handle that much Toho stuff. But anyway, back to this game. I'm going to be dealing actually with a new company this time around as the Germans. This is a 2v2, so a lot of the more heavier companies I use, like the Tiger or I don't really use the Elephant, but again, more the heavier tiers of tanks that requires more munitions, more manpower, and more fuel, I'm not going to use. Instead, I'm going to use the lighter, which one is it? The Mobile Defense Doctrine, aka this doctrine came with a new update and introduced the Puma to the Wehrmachts army. Now, Ice is making his infantry company along with myself, but at least I'm making MG. He's going to be bringing in a support, both MG and mortar. If we look up here, red is Don Bree, and he's pushing on the left. While if we look on the right, Amigo is putting down his company. I think he like cut halfway through and changed his company to something different. But anyway, the reason I wanted to do the Puma was A, to test it out, because both Ryan and quite a few other people say the Puma sucks. And to be fair, I will agree with that on a certain point. The Puma, at least if compared to the Sherman, is definitely not quote unquote they're not. You can't have 3 Pumas versus 3 Shermans and it would be an equal match. They're each different, of course. It's a armored car. It's still technically a scout car. It's an armored scout car, but it's still a scout car. But it does have a different role, and I'll show you how to use that effectively. Now, if we look here, the enemy. This is something that the enemy I think forgot. So. I usually the last few games been talking about unit like capture and like placement of like where you put units, what points you capture. Anyway, so right now if we look resource wise, it's equal. Okay, it's equal. That means the enemy, we still have the exact number of fuel, and we should have now increased fuel because we just. Oh, wait, no. We haven't captured. No, he's about to capture it. Never mind. Oh, no. It's up here. I'm about to capture it. Anyway, point is, they didn't capture this point. So the fuel over here and the munitions over here, they're not getting. So, just to let you know, these points right here are key to allow you to actually, control these points and to get that extra munitions, fuel, to help boost your economy and get you in a better place. If we look here, I put up the MG here because I didn't want to charge up, going with my tactics. I put my Grenadier squad right behind the green cover so I can capture. We look over here, I'm trying to get the fuel, but unfortunately these guys are out of cover, and even though they're really good close range, being out of cover really doesn't help out. Although if we look here, this guy did Ura. I really don't know why. Ura is meant to increase speed, and I don't know why he did Ura. Maybe it was just a taunt, but still, it was just like, okay. We look over here, the enemy did Ura to try to do a flame grenade, I believe, on this guy, but unfortunately for him, this guy was in a great cover position. Look at that, he's not being flanked anytime soon. Just keeping these guys pinned, which allows these guys to pretty much hold this point. Sure, they got pinned by this MG, but these guys got pinned by this MG. Now, if we look over here, they are pushing our right flank pretty hard. They still haven't captured this point, so any material or this point, so any material they hope to grab is still at 0 for now. I am making a small push on the middle area. As you can see, I captured both this munitions point and the other munitions point. So right now we're getting a ton of munitions. Look at that, 42 munitions compared to their 21. For those who say munitions, I don't say the worst out of the bunch. Wow, this guy tried to run in. How's that going to turn out for him? Is he going to make it? I don't think he's going to make it. Oh, wow, he makes it. That is the luckiest pioneer ever of all time. Just saying. No, pioneer. Is that grenadier? No.
We are ready.
No, that's the engineer. What am I saying? God damn, I'm sorry. It is later in the day. Anyway, I'm maybe a little bit hyped up on popcorn. I'm one of those people, like, I'll just grab a bucket of popcorn and enjoy a movie with. And usually I'll be like, eat the whole thing. Leave a comment if you do the same thing. But anyway, right now, as you can see,
Enemy is taking our territory.
trying to have my engineers build, there we go, build a new building, aka the mechanized company. Although, if we look here, I tried to capture this point, the fuel, but unfortunately these guys got pinned. If we look down here, these guys are unfortunately just taking them out. Even though they're not in cover, they're still using it effectively. So right now my right flank is completely gone. The left flank's holding, but yellow's just staying over there. And I'm pretty much just trying to hold out here. I tried to take out their MG, which I kind of did, but then I saw all this infantry coming in. So I had to fall back. Now if we look on my team, so ICE got the Luftwaffe supply doctrine. This is great for calling in medical supplies and dropping in bombs. The issue is if the enemy has an anti-air presence, that's how you cancel this. Again, I have the mobile air defense. If we look at the enemy team, we'll go to Amiga, because that's pretty much his forces killing me and pretty much holding me back. Luckily, I put MG in this building and moved him from moving him up. Even though they throw a grenade, this building's so large that it's really not going to do that much, and I can at least counter him effectively. Now, at least what he's doing is moving these guys back. So if we look here, wrong side of you, sorry. So he's moving them back so that way the MG wouldn't have that big of an effect. But anyway, we go back to Danbury. He picked partisan tactics, which, here, I'll explain. Let me explain something. Partisan tactics I really don't like. And it's not I don't like the unit as in it's a terrible faction. I don't like it because I hate bursting it. Because what they'll do is any building... Oh, and by the way, they brought up an AT gun. So they're really going heavy tier 1. So anyway, the reason I don't like this, and specifically the partisans, is they can spawn in any building around the map. So let's say they want that shack, they can spawn guys in there. Maybe they can only do it if they see it, like they see the individual building, but still, it's really annoying to have a bunch of guys just pop up in buildings and come from behind. And you're like, I secured this flank, where are they coming from? But anyway, they're really, to counter that, they're made out of troops that are pretty much, as here, I'll zoom in. You can see they're female troops. They're pretty much like civilians just given guns, per se. Similar to the Ostrupen, which is here, and I'll let you know, I don't really use Ostrupen reserves because Ostrupen, you get a lot of them, but they're extremely weak. I don't care if you have a 3-star Ostrupen squad; they're really easy to kill, even after the new aftermath update. I lost my MG, as you can see. I try to move some guys in. I send my engineers in, so I sight lines, and then move this guy in so I can fire some grenades and take him out. Now, alright, let's go. Move in 2 sets of grenadiers to try to counter this, and also try to, capture some points, because, I kind of need to do that. We look over here. Nice thing is, ICE moved up his sniper, took out those partisans really well, and kept this point. And again, they still have these guys here just guarding that point. They should probably try to take that, but their strategy's kind of working. But anyway, I moved these guys around to try to counter, like, okay, this MG's here. Let's try to move, because my other team got pinned, so I put them behind green cover. But look here, these guys are out in the open, but I'm still going to try to take them out. I was going to do a rifle grenade, but unfortunately, as you can see here, they kept moving. So what I did was, I moved these guys back. That way it would be out of their Molotov range. Fire a grenade, takes out 3 of their guys. Now these guys are a star. They're even out of cover. Now these guys are definitely more powerful. He does this Bolton again. I mean, like the Hoorah again. I don't know what he was trying to do. Maybe hope for a boost in power. Got me. I move these guys in to help with this. Fire a grenade in, and with both of our help, with ICE, I'm able to kill this, and we're able to take our fuel. So there go us. We can go over here. I'm able to take this point with my Grenadier squad, but as you can see, this constant artillery plus the MG is just keeping me down. Even though I'm behind this green cover, I really don't know how. Because sometimes green cover is amazing and like you can be hit by an MG and they won't go down. Other times like this, I'm behind green cover and, well, Oh, and then they spawned this guy behind me, so that was fantastic. But anyway, they're going to keep firing artillery at me, and it's eventually going to destroy that poor car, so I'm going to have to fall back here. But anyway, that's the problem with the partisans. You have to watch out and watch all flanks. But as you can see here, I move my scout car to try to counter and try to take out these partisans. As you can see here, even the partisans are really easy to kill. You just, they attack you in numbers, that's the hard part. Anyway, I know they have an AT gun, so I don't really want to move these up. Alright, if you look over here, the sniper is doing an amazing job. Ice is really doing... He's just... Oh, there goes another. Oh, sorry. Oh, wow. Oh, my lord. Look at that guy. Did he get a star for that? He really should get a star. Yeah, he got a star. 12 kills so far. Wow, he point blank shot that sniper at that poor Soviet civilian. Well, civilian with a gun, but still. Anyway, they haven't really brought up any vehicles yet, so I'm just like, okay. I brought another scout car in to help counter. I think he's dropping in medical supplies. Yep, he dropped in medical supplies for a sniper. Really interesting, because look, now it's full health and has a slight boost. Over here, I have my scout car fighting, but unfortunately, they bring up conscripts, and I believe we go to him. Go here. He's guards rifle, which allows him the PPSHs, the Sturmovik strikes, artillery. Pretty much a good infantry roundup. So as we can see here, both sides have quite a bit of more reliance of lighter fare units. Again, I don't really have a really heavy tank, neither does the enemy, and that's pretty good. It meant for a fight that was more concentrated on infantry, which I can show you more tactics instead of just sending a big tank in to blow everything up. Don't get me wrong, I like tanks coming in to blow stuff up. My IS-2 video with Redman that came out last week, fantastic. By the way, if things are a little out of order, I did have a 2v2 with the Puma, but I didn't really use the Puma that effectively. I've been testing around with it, and this video helps show like how to use the Puma. But anyway, move this guy up, heavy cover, what you can do, even in this guy with the building, still great. MG guy here, tearing these guys apart. Now here's the thing, they spawn partisans in here, and they are anti-partisan. They have the anti-tank grenade. I'm going to retreat this guy shortly. Yep, there he goes. Oh, run, 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 run. Oh, thank God. Move these guys up. They might have the MG42, but I have the, pretty much just some decent cover. I'm going to use the rifle grenade. Look in here. Wow, that was a nice little red mist. 2-star guys now. Pretty much, these guys don't stand a chance. Again, these guys are worth about 160, if I believe. Let's see, Amiga. No. Dunbury. Yeah, 210 for partisan troops and 270. Oh wow, they increased them. Interesting. Last time they were 160 and 210 respectively, or right around there, or 240 maybe. But anyway, move up my Grenadiers, try to help take this point. As you can see now, my unit preservation is not doing very well, but again, I'm just trying to hold the line. Look back here, healing up. Again, I would highly recommend making this medic bunker, especially since we're so close. I did it so that way both sides, if he ever retreated, units could get healed up. Again, very nice. Go back to the front lines. They have an SU-76. Now, an SU-76, most people, well, I've seen that used a lot more lately. As you see here, has a great range for artillery, and it's also a good anti-tank gun. Again, like the Puma, it can't take on a Panzer IV or like a Tiger directly. But if you can use this effectively and hit it, like bring in a T-34 to attack straight on, and then use these to attack the sides and hit artillery, this can be a rather effective unit. Again, it's firing pretty long-range artillery, and it's not half bad. Also, this thing doesn't cost money for artillery, so unlike the AT gun, which costs actual manpower, again, they sent these guys in to fight me. Unlike the actual, you know, or AT gun that actually requires like 60 manpower for it, it doesn't cost anything. Now, I finally bring in the Puma. I bring in the Puma to try to test out, like, I need a vehicle. I couldn't really bring out a tank yet. I'm just like, alright, I need something more powerful that can deal with, like, these heavier units. Now, this is highlighting what the Puma does. Pumas can fire. This long barrel is designed to fire long range. That's what the Puma is designed for. Scouting, long range, and shortly it's going to go really fast. Come on, Puma. But anyway, They bring up another Su-76 plus 2. They're bombing my guys. I'm trying to put up a fight here and capture this point, but as you can see here, it's not going very well. So, oh wow, he has an Ostwind. Interesting. I knew Ice brought in his Ostwind. Oh, nice shot on that. But he goes over here, which again he's fighting the conscripts with grenades that can flank it. So I bring up my Puma, and right as they turn, like, okay, this is my chance. Oop. So I do a nice shot. Does a good hit on this guy. And look at that. The Puma took a great shot. Did barely anything to it. Did a rear armor hit on there. It's fast enough that this thing has a harder time hitting it. Does another rear hit over here. This thing now gained a star from kill. I think they're about to kill the Ostwind. Yeah, I'm going to say, yep, they're going to kill it. Ostwind's not good against anti-tank. Anyway, kill that. Fantastic. He does artillery at me for some reason. So I'm just like trying to retreat that guy. I'm like, alright, I have a star Puma, get him out. Fortunately, my guy unfortunately bit the bucket, or kicked the bucket. And they're also moving up a ton of guys to reinforce it, including anti-tank guys, so I can't really move the Puma in that to fight it. I am moving the Puma back for safety reasons, and back here I'm making a support armor corps. That way I can bring out a Panzer and actually turn this tide. Because right now, again, they have another Su-76. The Puma's great for doing a nice strafing attack, but again, with all this AT, I need something with a little bit more punch. But as you can see here, my MG is tearing apart their guys in here. I'm moving up more Grenadiers on this side to help push. If we look at Ice, he has a sniper. The sniper's doing a really good job of just taking him apart over here. Oh no, the artillery's coming. I think this is how a sniper dies. I could be wrong, but I think this shot's gonna take him out. Yep. Oh, that poor sniper. Oh. Anyway, he's hitting me over here, but it's very hard for me to fight over here. I put down a bunker because I had to go fight in the middle because we need to recapture that middle. So anyway, I had guys here. They pretty much got destroyed. I mean, they got completely overrun. Tried to move these guys up to behind heavy cover. Couldn't really do that. Luckily, I asked Ice for support, and look what he does. Look at that bombing run. That was perfect. The flame even is hitting this building, so this MG squad is literally being cooked alive inside that building. I think. Yeah, it is. So right now they're doing more artillery fire on this guy. I'm like, alright, I have to do something. So they bring up an Su-76 to counter it through here. And I'm just like, I have to do something. I can't keep fighting like this. We look here, I think he's doing another fireball? Oh no, medical supplies. So I had to retreat my 3-star Grenadiers, but Ice was nice enough to bring in medical supplies for me. And I had to retreat because even though medical supplies would have been great at healing him, I need more men, not better, heal. Not better health. I move this guy in a building, and then I move in my Panzer IV, just released, and my Puma. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Kachushka is currently firing at this position to try to hit my guys, but these two units are way too fast for him, and I'm going to do a nice slow flanking maneuver on him. Doing some decent hits. As you can see here, pretty much with the Panzer IV and the Puma, they have no chance and they have to fall back. Or at least they fall back with some guys. Ice grabs their AT, nice move. Move up my engineers, capture this point. Fall this thing back and I'll send my oh my god, my pioneers to go to heal this thing. I'm gonna send my Puma to kill these guys. They may have anti-tank grenades, anti-tank rounds, but this thing actually has a good amount of armor, so it's just gonna actually do some nice damage on here. And I ran away from these guys, I'm not gonna deal with those tank grenades. So I come over here, start to do some damage. This thing is now 2 stars, by the way. Again, doing pretty good. Currently fighting their conscripts. They throw a grenade, but as you can see, it doesn't really do too much. I bring in another Puma, and with the Panzer Grenadiers moving in, these guys have no chance, even if they and completely surround them. Unfortunately, because of a nice little round, I did lose my poor guys over here. I think it was from, yep, it was from this guy, the partisan, the Panzer Shrek group. Oh, luckily this guy calls in another firebomb, so 1 second. It completely takes him out. Ugh. That's just gonna scroll over here. Nobody needed to see that. Oh, but while they were screaming, I knew they had Katyushkas, so I'm like, I'm gonna go see what they had. Found one over here, and now he's retreating. I'm like, where are you going with that? Again, these are great because they can keep up with the fastest vehicle. So if a Katyusha's running, Panzer IVs can sometimes have trouble keeping up with them. Luckily, the Puma has no issues whatsoever, and just, you know, takes out the Katyushka. And even with all these guys firing and stuff like that, this thing has more than enough firepower to hold its own. At least trying to take this out. I tried to make this guy retreat, and you know what I should have done? I should have probably activated smoke to probably help get him out. But again, with this AT gun, it's just in range. It's missing. I'm like, go! Go, man, go! You can get home. You got this. But unfortunately, these now have anti-tank rounds, anti-tank rifles, and now I'm just gonna take this thing out, take out my main gun, they close enough to throw a grenade and take me out. I was very disappointed. I'm gonna have to retreat these guys shortly. Luckily, I'm bringing up more Panzer Grenadiers to help on the right side. But yeah, now I have a 2-star Puma that has 8 kills, 3 vehicles killed, and 6 enemies. 7 enemies. So now it's doing a pretty good job at holding its own. And wow, takes out that group. But anyway, that's the fight over here. Pretty much destroyed most of their defensive line. Over here, I'd retake this point with some Grenadiers. Luckily, Ice brought another airstrike, destroying that pretty much their AT. I think it was around this point that I forget which guy. I think it was Amigo. Amigo may have left or something, but I could be wrong on that. If something doesn't pop up right here, I'm sorry. But I think this is around the time he left. I could be wrong, but I know by the end of the match he wasn't here. So, but he was here most of the match because of just tactics and other things. Anyway, I'm back with these guys. Oh, there's 2. Luckily, I have this MG guy here. If they come in, well, they're gonna have some issues. And luckily, this guy brings up his, you know, Oswind, which is great infantry. Even, you know, if they have Shreks and pretty much can tear them apart. Look, they're pretty much tearing apart these partisans. And again, partisans are really weak. When people say, "Oh, bring in partisans," well, guess what? Partisans, even like. You really need to use them, and you really need to spread them out because they are easy to take out. They don't have the thick armor that Panzer Grenadier or shock troops have. Anyway, they bring up an Su-85. I don't think this AI, because I don't think an AI would bring this up. Maybe this is the AI because they would be fighting this. But anyway, I told this guy to move in, try to fight the Su, and it's getting some damage. It's 3-star now. It took a good hit. I'm still trying to fight it. But unfortunately, I'm not going to risk it. I'm like, oh, fall back. Especially after them trying to throw a grenade. And then magically, like, teleporting over this. I didn't want to lose my 3-star Puma, which now has, 14 kills. I keep this MG here, but what I'm going to do is I'm setting in my Panzer Shreks and upgrading them with my Panzer Grenadiers, upgrading them with Panzer Shreks. That way I can do a nice little flanking ability. They try to move up, but yeah, they pretty much got out. Even 3-star Grenadiers on the enemy team, again, they have long-range rifles. My guy had short-range submachine guns, and that just shows how effective that can be. But anyway, they bring up their Su-85 again, try Tried a nice little flank attack. Maybe I think it was trying to cancel this. Try to protect their guys. We look over on this side. Ice did a great job. He pretty much cut them off over here, which renders their fuel pretty much zero, like extremely low. These got upgraded. I'm just like, hey, SU, where are you going? Fire off a round. Almost dead. Missed a shot. I was really disappointed. But luckily I have these guys coming up, which I'll do a Panzer Grenade. He called in a bombing run. I don't think Ice understood that, you know, these fire weapons don't work on the tank. It's so dying. Unfortunately, the brush is like keeping it alive. But I come around, and this guy takes him out. And also they come around and, you know, start fighting on these conscripts. Now the Puma's back up and running. I put up an MG here to help defend this point, because this is one of the main areas they're trying to push in, again, knocking out our fuel. But if we look here at the fuel, they have 10, we have 44, they have 21, we have 63. All because we at that point cutting off their fuel. The fuel they're so desperately trying to hold on to. They're not getting any rewards from it. But anyway, as you can see here, they are pressing in the middle again. Now, to try to cancel this, I wanted to bring in some more morale, so I brought up a Panzer IV command tank, along with my Puma. Wow, those guys got destroyed. So anyway, these guys here ready and wait for any tanks that come by. I know they're pushing in here, but I'm going to be sending in some troops to counter. Oh, and look at that. They brought up a Panzer Grenadier squad. They spawned in a building, and they're trying to take out our fuel points. Ice is trying to hit with an AT, but I'm going to move up my 3-star Grenadiers, along with moving up my healing Panzer Grenadiers once they get, you know, back up and ready. But anyway, as you can see, they have really nothing over here stopping me from moving up. So what I'm going to do is pretty much take these points and then pretty much lock them down with bunkers and mines. Anyway, I move up my Panzer Grenadiers to fight off this AT gun. I don't have enough for grenades, and I didn't really want to do anything with that. So what I did was I just tried to use long-range Panzer Shreks and stuff like that. I didn't have, again, I know they don't have the best ability on this, but still, I wanted to do something. I didn't want to move up really close to MG, because these guys are really close, and if they get pinned, it would just be very hard to move out. But look, if you look here, luckily this command tank takes this out. They do move into SU-76, does it almost hits this thing, but it'll pretty much take out that MG for me, so no issue there. Wow, you can see all the troops moving in the background. That's interesting. Anyway. Oh yeah, this thing just two-shotted the SU-76. Did a great job. Again, it has a long-range barrel. It's great for hitting the sides. Again, maybe it's just a 3-star, that's why I was doing very well. But again, hit things from its sides and flanks. Don't hit things directly with it. That's what I would recommend. It doesn't have the armor of a Panzer IV. It still has really better armor than a normal car or a basic track. Wow, again, they're losing guys left and right over here. I think we'll hide in the building, and then even in the building, they still get torn apart. They have an MG squad here, so what I do is I move on my Panzer Grenadiers to flank with their short-range rifles, but unfortunately, the only thing they have left is their Panzer Shreks. The woman is now carting away that. Great. Oh, here's a bombing run coming in. Pretty much stopping them from capturing that point. If we go over here, you can see myself capturing this point with a... I destroyed the munitions point they put over here with a flamethrower, which also raised a point. Why would you put a munitions point? Maybe they're newer to this game, but still, fuel is usually the thing to go for. Although munitions helps. If having an ability to throw a grenade or something can definitely change the tide of battle. I mean, if we look at resources, right now it's like we have enough munitions for my ally Ice to just constantly bring in airstrikes, which really helps us out. So I do have a Panzer IV tank over here trying to hold this line along with that command tank, but unfortunately they brought up so many AT units that it just got completely destroyed. So not going well. Not going well whatsoever. I think he's calling it an air recon pass? Recon plane? No, medical supplies, my bad. Has to be medical supplies. Yep. Medical supplies. Oh wait, no, is that fuel? Munition supplies. Oh, what okay. So what part of Ice's ability he can call in supply zones, we can call in, like, again, fuel or munitions, stuff like that over these points to just get extra munitions, which he probably wants for the bombing strikes and Stuka bombs. So right now, if we look on this side, he's really being hit by that Su-76 pretty hard. Again, their artillery is used. He doesn't really have any long range. He has the here, but again, thing about it is you need recon because he can't see it. All he can see artillery area. So just take note, and again, that you have the scout car. That way you can see stuff at long range. I have the scout car, by the way, to help counter. If you look over here, I also have the MG. The MG bunkers pretty much hold these areas in case they do come around, like this set of grips. And the bunker comes around and pins them and pushes them away. If we look over here, Red has a nice little offensive going on. Tons of AT. I bring up another command tank in the meantime. Luckily, this, even though it has a short range barrel, it's still pretty powerful, and it's still taking out these partisans really well. Now, if we look over here, they're over the flame, so they're, you know, kind of being burned alive. And that MG is just barely out of it, but still. Move these guys into cover, but unfortunately, this guy's still out in the middle of nowhere. So he's still going to get the full, pretty much extent of that MG, and I won't get from behind the heavy cover, so it will be safe. Of course not. Moving my Puma from behind. Pretty much, oh, wow, it just completely knocked out, killed 3 guys at once with that. That was pretty cool. They throw grenades on this thing, but as you can see, it really didn't do that much. Still firing long range with that gun, doing a great job fighting off those conscripts and partisans. Look over here, finally kind of flanked them. They had to reposition, gave me a chance, and I was able to fire a nice little grenade on here, taking them out. Look over here, we're seeing more infantry, but I'm moving out my partisans behind heavy cover. That way pushes back their infantry, but still allows me to, oh, nice job, just hold them off without taking too much damage. And again, they're at 2 stars now, so pretty nice. Anyway, I'm healing my guy over here. I think I have another bunker station. Yep, I do. Over here, that way in case they come, pretty much have this area locked down. I'm going to send my Puma in to attack. Ice brought in his own thing over here to try to take this out. I don't know what exactly is... Okay, I realized what his plan was. Almost killed that partisan unit. But no, she still has the Panzerschreck. But yeah, if you're wondering like, oh, let's just airstrike their base with recon, we'll win the game. Yeah, it did that much with the direct strike. You're going to need a lot more. Plus, the engineers could easily heal it, so good luck with that if you're one of those people. Anyway, the game's about to be over. We're pretty much winning. I knew this guy, he finally told me about the Su-76, so what I did was send my Panzer Grenadiers with the Shreks to come deal with it. And they dealt with it spectacularly. But anyway, pretty much that was game over. That was game, set, match. My bunkers pretty much held them over here. I had enough forces over here along with new tanks and new Pumas to pretty much hold this line. They never really came out with a large heavy tank presence, probably because they never really had a ton of fuel. Even at the end, again, they had 7-11. We had 44 and 73 munitions and fuel respectively. Along with, look, Ice had just a ton of manpower. Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of AT and other supportive units. And again, Bumbar. I was probably bringing that in to deal with the Su-76 that was, I quote-unquote, was over here. But I never really had a great, a truly great, like, tank offensive. So again, this match was more infantry-based, but still, it was nice. It's nice to have a game where it's like you don't have to rely on the tanks and stuff like that as often. You can rely on the lighter units. But as I said before, dealing with this new company, I never really used the counterattacks because if you can see here, infantry units are trained to retake territory quicker, neutral territory Neutral territory is captured more rapidly when active. Usually, except for the beginning of the game, all territory is either left or right. It's either enemy or it's yours. It's usually not one way or another. It's usually not like neither side has it. So I never really found myself using this. Again, smoke, very effective, should have used that. Ostrupen, I say it's up to you if you want to if you want to use it, that's fine. But Ostrupen are really weak, and even a 3-star guy with a Panzer Shrek possibly or whatever could still not exactly be the best thing. Maybe the best thing to do would, call in a Panzer Shrek and some Grenadiers and rank them up effectively. Pumas, great for scouting, great for taking out vehicles from a flank. So if you have a bunch of Panzers or Panthers moving in, use these to scout out the sides and then hit like the SU, or that way you can like circle around the SU. That way they have to turn around, especially fighting like an SU. If you can get a bunch of these and just circle the damn thing, it'll just keep them confused and it should take it out pretty quickly. And of course, a Panzer command tank, great for holding up front lines and keeping morale high. I don't know why the Soviet player kept, using the morale with his conscripts, because it really only increases their speed, but still, I guess, very effective strategy. Although the fuel, if you don't want to waste the fuel, maybe just a normal Panzer tank is more effective for you. But anyway, oh, of course, they really didn't do so. But again, remember to capture fuel points and put down the fuel, especially at the beginning. Don't really go for munitions at the beginning. Fuel's key. Munitions helps win battles, though. Again, those airstrikes and stuff that Ice brought in was key. But again, we look over here. Ice didn't really have that big of a presence. He was pretty much over on this side of the map most of the time. I will say like 80% of the time. He never really went over to my side. He held this area pretty well, but he never really pushed up or anything. I was just going back and forth, and eventually I pushed out. So I was happy with that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the battle. Again, it actually showed the might of the Puma, and showing that the Puma can be an effective weapon if used effectively. Sure, it can't fight a Sherman, it's not as good as a Sherman, but it has its own unique property and makes it great. Anyway, I'm going to show you the after action report because you might find it interesting. Now to just confirm that the scout car actually did something, or the Puma armored car, sorry. 5,000 damage dealt, that's here, 61 kills, only 1 death. Hate to break it to you, but it can be used effectively. It's a very unique unit, but if you can get this thing ranked up, it can definitely do some nice side armor hits and definitely just zoom around the enemy. It's not exactly as effective, in my opinion, as the Sherman, but it's a really good second, and again, do not think of this as a front-on, head-on assault. I use them in groups to take out smaller units or just go around and mess with the sidelines. These things are great against fighting with infantry and are just very good at just annoying with the enemy. Again, they won't do a direct assault. Don't think about taking on, let's say, an extremely heavy tank, but they can take 1 or 2 hits with an Su-85 or hitting it, and they can do some good damage. Now, if we look at overview as well, he did, again, you saw, quit about 75% the way through because he's like, oh, I'm done. My side, as you can see, Ice, he was great with support, but mostly this was a game where pretty much I was holding off most of the enemy. Although, don't get me wrong, without him, without those firebombs, we probably would have lost it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Greyshot calls sector artillery, okay? Okay? The problem is that he forgets is that, yeah, sure, it's going to target this, but since it stayed in this area the longest, friendly fire is in play. So it just murdered most of his guys, including one of his artillery pieces. That's pretty funny in my book. He's going to send in a Panther. We really have no AT in our sector. Except for, wait, my IS-2. Just going to say hello. Now that's Red Man's force.